The early game for this comp is not looking too hot.
And I think that we have to hope, or at the very least the KT fans have to hope, that BDD's first game on Mel isn't his first ever game, but just his first competitive game.
Here on this stage.
And it's also recently a story of almosts, right? As we're going in again.
Of level 2 on the bottom side as well. Doctum and Peter getting aggressive.
Really start to whittle him down and look for the extra pressure there. Meanwhile, speaking of pressure,
Owner wrapping around BDD. False sense of security because his bot lane is moving first, but the jungler already there. Nice initial sidestep, flash backwards onto Faker. The root connects. Good damage from BDD, but he can't quite finish the kill. And the flash expended means advantage to the side of T1.
But to maintain his pressure on this lane, but he does have to pay for it heavily.
And the critical part is that T1, they don't overextend the play because Cousin Peter were on the way there, and now they're looking at Guma.
KT getting aggressive, just knocking down Gumayushi, taking first blood as Peter flawlessly turns into the Canyon minion to eat countless tower shots. Has to come through, and T1 doing a better job of not giving away too much control in this game too.
Has many ways to get on top of his opponents between his rocket belters. There he goes.
Middle onto Peter, catches the real target carry there for the follow. Flash out from Peter, forced to use the heal as well.
Peter could be very big. Is going to mean that KT will start up these grubs though, and Peter heals up off those honey fruit.
And Faker doesn't have his ultimate available, so that might be the reason why T1 is a little bit hesitant. And also this time their skirmishing just isn't quite as strong, right? In the previous game, I think that they had so much power there.
BDD.
Not quite the case here.
Getting aggressive, access to the golden clips is there. Wants to reflect earlier
on. The Sivir here does need multiple items to really have that extra pressure, and the team is built around a Sivir Lulu comp here. While there's possibilities elsewhere.
Nice sidestep from BDD, just barely able to get away. Vault Breaker coming in for Cuz, opts not to flash. The turn back from Owner is solid. Faker now on the way in himself, trying to use the golden clips to keep things going. The Ezreal ulti across the top. BDD grabbing one. Faker will turn it back, but he's under the tower, and it's Cuz to take him down.
And it's the subterfuge from KT. Can use his ultimate to join the fight, but Perfect actually finishes a Titanic Hydra, and thanks to the proxy, will be trying to arrive as soon as possible, even without TP available.
No vision control of the pit. A finally a ward is dropped, but it might not matter. Peter with flash available.
There's the ult.
Cuz off to the side. Ulti from Doran's not going to catch anybody, but it might have zoned KT away enough. Doran likely to give his life here, but the Drake already down in favor of T1. On the hunt, popped. Perfect tunneling out to safety. T1 got what they came for. They're going to make a hasty retreat. They don't want the 5v5.
It's because, again, T1, there's only 2 big carries, but this early on, the damage is still there as BDD.
BDD potentially caught out. Layering in the CC a little bit off. BDD unstoppable for a brief moment, ready to use the ulti, but Faker is stolen, one away. The goal in the clips, but the follow-up is there from Peter. Makes it a 1-for-1. Vault Breaker coming in. Faker just CC'd for an eternity. The Kingslayer healing not available in time as Cuz is on a killing spree.
So T1's idea was to make the quick play before the Rift Herald fight, but KT, they close the trap, they get 2 back for themselves, and the teleport from Doran does signal they want something.
I need to be careful.
Tower going to fall. Likely not enough damage to kill Doran, but at least zoning him away as they set their sights on the objective. Herald already started. Cuz will secure it uncontested.
I did get tricked by Peter
when it comes to those kills, though. 1.2k individual lead. BDD from the assists and a bit of a farm advantage. Holding on to a decent lead of his own. Has opted for a bit of healing reduction. Going to make things that much harder for Owner and Faker as the charge comes through.
And last time, this was the point where T1 turned the game. The lead this time is bigger for KT, but I think T1 don't want to let them get this dragon. Want to get soul point themselves.
Faker's ulti available. Needs to hijack the ulti of Peter. Chip really starting to hurt onto Doran. Catch over the wall onto Cuz, the most fed member. They're immediately going to delete him, and the rest of KT try to pull the trigger, but they can't quite find the angle. BDD, Doctum, they've got the range advantage. Peter waiting to peel for them if necessary. Perfect. Spots them in the darkness. The tremor sense showing him what he needs to see, but they've stopped moving or have moved out of range. He can't be certain now. The Q from Doran moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse from BDD. A new dawn for KT in game 2, but T1 are unconcerned. Guma, Keria standing, the bot lane. Will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gumayushi fearlessly advancing, ricocheting, tearing through the dreams of KT. Guma with the moves at the end.
He's able to get the execute. Maybe that could have been enough.
So close, and then the glitter lance slows Doctum.
Flash.
Another
So
fight
that Guma's
breaking out
able
in the
to
meantime.
follow.
Guma potentially caught out. Cuz looking for a bit of revenge. Owner doesn't quite make it over the wall with the flag and drag, but the ball breaker taking him to safety, and Gumayushi does not care. Look at that record at the bottom of your screen. He might have faltered in the early game. He might have been behind in game 1 and game 2, but this man is a team fighting demon. The dragon starting to fall. Turn back from Faker as he catches out Doctom. Cuz there to try and peel, but it is too late. Owner moving in. A cataclysm across the top side. Perfectly
there.
canceled. BDD flashing over the wall. Gumayushi still living. Perfect on the chase. Peter wants to fire back. Cuz running for the hills. 2 down on the side of T1. But Guma might be enough. Perfect gets the bite. Tears right through him, and now it's Owner picked off as well. KT fighting for their lives. BDD still standing. Crucially, the extra damage. Doran set to fall. A double kill for the KT mid laner.
And BDD stands supreme on the mill, stays alive through it all, and that is going to be the Otacon.
BDD said in the trailer back up, and it's after a huge play from Faker, but BDD is able to use the ultimate to snipe him at the end.
And it's an overplay here. T1 try the force the hand. They waited it in game 1, but they're not actually able to get on top of BDD, who flashes over the pit, and then Peter ensures that Perfect can get on top of Guma, and all the while BDD just stacking up the passive, getting the damage down, and this is a really crucial team fight win here for KT.
The funniest part to me is
continuing to scale how durable those team members can become, but Baron, more important, 43 seconds. Perfect trying to push in this wave. A lot of damage to finish that tower up, and now Doctom, unaware of the Scion, but knows that he has relative safety. Has to be careful about walking forward towards that brush. And Doran perfectly placed and baited Doctom. Far too confident.
Doran lying in wait.
Gives it up because looking at the spikes, Guma didn't have his IE, just now finishes it, and BDD did have his death cap. So fighting just before, really your main against Lulu and Scion, gonna get a ton of value.
And now we get to see for the next team fight, to see if KT can turn this
Can set up and the waves are pushed, so KT should be feeling good about setting up this dragon.
Ooh, the Lord Doms just got completed by Guma as well. Big power boost here. 4-item Sivir.
Sneaking it. Oh, they're calling the bluff. They know.
Full committing. T1 now turning to Baron. They don't want to risk the contest here. Owner starting the objective. As you get into the fight, keep your eyes on the key carries, Guma and BDD. If either one falls, their team very likely to win the fight. Interrupt there. The Baron not very quick. Chemtech Drake down. Soul point there. Might just come down to the 50-50. Cuz on the way. T1 tried to make the counterplay, but walk away empty-handed.
The poke damage is really good from KT. The double range advantage.
These angles, if KT make one tiny mistake, they're looking to pounce.
T1 now looking to pounce. Doctum in the river, but he is Ezreal.
Doctom. Pass over the wall. Peter looking to make a play. Lockdown onto Faker, looking to turn it back. Root is connected as well. Faker's been caught. Buys a brief moment with the Seekers. The rest of T1 retreating. Perfect buying the space and the tunnel over the wall. It's a heist. He buys the time to take Faker down. Doran with a decimating smash. Peter on the chase. They'll only connect onto one, but it's enough to start the fight in their favor. Gumayushi untouched, but he's also not able to do any damage. Cuz keeping it going. KT pushing into the jungle of T1, zoning them away from the Baron as they set their sights on that Red Bull Baron power play.
They win the critical fight. They find Faker. They get the advantage, and Perfect is able to escape. Wait a second.
BDD flash. Doran forced to flash back over the wall. Sidestep on the decimating smash. Peter there to cover. Guma can't push for anything else. Doran getting chunked out. That's the ulti to seal it. BDD going godlike. Guma alone in the mid lane. Objective slowly falling. Owner zoned off. Perfect there with the knockup. Needs to lock it down. Owner's not going to have a chance. KT, it takes some time, but they take down the Baron.
In the last game, KT went for a couple of teams.
Exactly. The root into Vi combination gets his Zonias early. And then here, Perfect at the back. This is one of the best changes they made to Rek'Sai. After using your ult, your W just goes on a 1-second cooldown, so you can show it. Then the rest of KT, after they took down Faker, they could push through for the chase.
I love as well there because maybe I think the rest of T1 could have gone for a pass to Nico because Peter held his ult, and now the Red Bull Baron power play for KT, 8k, 9k gold lead here.
Individual gold lead. His first competitive game looking damn good. Faker going golden. The second the chains miss, he doesn't want to push for anything else. Ball break over the wall from Cuz, ready to go, but he's not going to overextend because the mid lane's already falling. KT taking their sweet time with this one, knowing that T1 have one shot to turn this back in their favor.
It's just Guma. He's just a Sivir trying his best, but KT doesn't give him the
flag there, spots the objective play. Faker on the flank. Perfect, not going to give him the angle. KT starting to retreat, starting to get forced backwards. Doran to kick things off. Peter to look for the interrupt. Faker using an ulti of his own to be stolen away. BDD taking out the fight. But down goes Guma. Cuz making it work, but PD's owned away by Carrier, and all of KT now collapsing on the T1 support. At the end of the day, it is only Owner, and he cannot stop the soul.
KT get the soul, and they want the Nexus too!
Perfect continues to push down. They've learned, they've adapted, they've stayed strong in the face of the game one loss. KT firing back against T1, but do they have the power to end the game? Another TP, Doctum on the way. Doran giving everything to clear the waves. Owner and Carrier here. Surely the Ezreal is enough, but the creeps are falling back. Doran remains standing. T1 are not out of it yet. Doctum needs more, and he cannot get it.
Guma's up in 10 seconds. The reinforcements from T1 will arrive.
And T1 will cling on to this game.
Doran won't be able to find the blind decimating smash, but the ulti to kick things off, he connects onto the wall. Perfect waiting on the back line. Doctum untouched, BDD untouched. Doran straying way too far forward in a moment of miscommunication. Down goes the top laner of T1. KT start the Baron.
That faceplant means Baron, boys.
It was always going to be a Hail Mary from T1 if they wanted to get back in this game, but that one does not hit the mark. That's Baron.
BDD not showing on vision yet. The last inhib tower falling down. Inhibitors following after. T1, a last desperate hold here in game 2. If they can turn it back, it takes them to match point, but KT set to even up the series in the 2025 World Finals. Doran isolating Cuz. Peter going forward, finds 3 with the knockup. Perfect there to follow, but Faker turns it right back and knocks down Peter. Doctum, BDD, still standing. Baguma! He's shredding through everybody! The Sivir finally allowed to take over the fight, but they managed to take him. Faker still alive in the scrappy fight. The extra healing is making all the difference. Doctum doesn't quite have the damage that he needs. KT holding on for dear life. Doctum able to find the kill. Perfect, Cuz Doctum falls. A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor, but Perfect is going to end the game. Guma dies, and so does T1. KT even up the series.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Perfect, reliable as all hell in this game, doesn't go down, deals the damage, and with the